guys, Jeff here with Passive Income Unlocked, and this is the No Stone Unturned case study update number 11. So we're just 1 month away from the 1 year mark on the site now, and I have to say I'm not too thrilled with where the traffic's at, and of course that's due to the helpful content update that was released in August. As I mentioned in the last video, it looked fine up until the end of August, but on the last day of the month and then kind of going into September there, we lost quite a bit of traffic on this site, roughly 50% give or take. So after that update was done, 3 days later, Google released the September core update, of course. That update thankfully did not hit us, and then they did release a product review update during that core update as well. So there was a lot of updates back to back to back. So I'm sure that affected a lot of sites out there. Makes it very confusing. Hard to tell what you're doing right or wrong on your site when the updates are back to back to back like that. And I don't know if that's intentional on Google's part or not, but either way, it makes it very difficult figure out what to change on your site. So I'm going to do things a little bit different in this video, so I'm not going to go through the usual numbers and whatnot. I will show the traffic graphs though. First, I'll just say that as far as publishing goes, we're publishing 1 post per day now. We were publishing in batches up until recently. We actually changed this before the update released, I believe right around the same time anyways. We decided we're going to switch to 1 post per day, so that's what we switched to. And had nothing to do with the update, but I think it's a good move anyways. With all of our other sites, we always like to publish on a consistent frequency. So same number of posts per week, same days of the week, same time of day, every time a post is published and so on. I'm not saying that makes any difference on your rankings or anything like that, but it's just something that we like to do. And as you get more traffic to your site, it's good for visitors anyways. And of course, that's what we're trying to do with this particular site, is build a site for visitors. And I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so before I kind of talk about what changes we will or will not make, let me bring up those screenshots that I mentioned about, or for the traffic. So first, I'll bring up a screenshot from Search Console. So as you can see there, this is a lifetime screenshot, and the traffic was going up very nicely up until the update hit, and then it dropped significantly, and then it's kind of flattened, going up slightly since then, but definitely not the same curve. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens there. I honestly think if this update had not hit us, we would have been at Mediavine levels to apply for Mediavine, so 50,000 sessions per month by the end of the year, probably less, or maybe by November, so maybe at the 1 year mark for the site, we would have been at that threshold, I think, because it was trending up very, very nicely. Let me bring up the analytics screenshot as well. So again, lifetime screenshot, as you can see there, we were just shy of 20,000 page views per month in August, and then September that dropped down to 12,500 page views per month. So again, like I said, we've lost about 3 months worth of growth on this site. The question will be whether or not we keep growing and we just lost that traffic. Does it bounce back in the future at some point with the future update? Do we flatline and just go sideways even though we're continuing to add content? So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Do our older posts continue to rank higher, the ones that haven't had enough time yet? Or do they just kind of sit where they're at? So these are lots of things that we're going to be watching for. So as far as our approach, are we going to change anything going forward? And the answer to that really is no. So with the helpful content update, what Google says they're trying to do is they're trying to go after people that are building sites for search engines. But in reality, anybody that's trying to make money with a website is trying to get search traffic, right? They're trying to publish articles that will rank high. So I don't think that's something that you should necessarily stop doing. But at the same time, they do want you to create content for visitors. And I think that is a good goal. And ironically, this site, out of all of our sites, this is the one site where we put our focus on the visitor. We were trying to create a comprehensive resource for our visitors. So basically a site that's covers topics very thoroughly. So if we have a topic cluster, we basically post on every topic within that cluster, within reason, of course. We internally link all of our posts pretty heavily. So it's really easy to find related content. We link out to external resources within our posts. And all the content's written by one person. So there's none of this where the posts aren't very consistent from one to another. If you read the posts on that site, you will see, and we reveal this in our course, so that's why I say if you read it. But if you read the posts on the site, you'll see that they're very consistent in the writing style. And they're not perfect posts by any means, but the posts are not bad by any means either. They do a pretty good job of covering the topics, and they stay on point for the most part, and you can tell very obviously that's all written by one person. So again, what we were trying to accomplish with this site is basically what Google says they want to see sites accomplish. So my only theory at this point is that it all boils down to authority in our case. This is a relatively new site. We published a lot of content very quickly. Again, that might be a red flag. We basically have no authority on this site yet, so hardly any backlinks from authoritative sites. That's just something that comes naturally over time. We don't build backlinks on any of our sites, and I don't think we will go down that road. Hopefully, Google doesn't make us think we need to go down that road by authority really playing, or backlinks playing an even bigger role or something like that. But we've never built backlinks, and we don't intend to build backlinks. But backlinks obviously help gain rankings, make it easier to rank on your sites and whatnot. And on all of our other sites, we have tons and tons of backlinks, and they just come naturally over time. So I do think that that's something that as we get more backlinks over time, I do think that the site will do much, much better. My expectation is that with a future update, the site will probably bounce back, whether it's the next core update or a couple core updates from now or whatever. So we don't really intend to change anything. We are trying to build a comprehensive resource for visitors. That's what Google wants to see anyways. We're basically checking all the boxes that they outline in their helpful content documentation. So we are not going to change anything, and we're just going to do the wait and see approach. Will it work? We don't know. And we're not going to know for a long time. We're going to have to wait at least probably a solid 6 months to see whether or not this is working or not. We might pull back on publishing. So if we're not seeing any good progress over the next couple of months or next few months, we might pull back a little bit on the publishing. But we're not going to make any drastic changes otherwise. So, and that's something that a lot of people do when they get hit by updates. They'll make a lot of changes. They'll go change a bunch of things on their posts. And when you do that, you don't really know if that made the difference or not, because there's a lot of cases out there that people have reported where they change nothing on their site. They get hit really hard with an update. The next core update that comes out, all their traffic comes back. So it's really hard to tell what change or why you got hit by an update and what changes you made that traffic come back. So in our case, we think we're already building a very solid site, so we're just going to wait and see what happens. So guys, that's all I had for this one. I'll post another update in a month. I don't expect the traffic to be much higher, but we'll see what happens over the next several months after that. So thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one.